Hey everybody, the Mana Traders series this month is going to be Pioneer, and if you want to participate in the absolute best online tournament series going on in Magic right now, you can sign up to get a Mana Traders rental subscription using code A22EN_FT9. And once you're signed up, you get access to renting cards for Moto anytime you want, and then you also are entered into this tournament where you can win up to $4,000 cash just playing a one-day event in a monthly tournaments. This is every month you get a chance to win this money. And yeah, if you'd sign up and support the channel, I'd really appreciate it. See you guys later, and let's get to some content. Welcome everybody to another episode of Making Magic Happen, brought to you by RW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, and today we are playing Legacy. I have played 0 games of Legacy since the last time you saw YouTube, or my YouTube channel have Legacy on it, which was like October or something, November maybe. Been a while. I found out there's a big modern event this weekend. It's a super qualifier or something. I don't have enough QPs, so I'm playing a Legacy prelim because it was the only one that was convenient for me. I just pulled one of the most recent challenge winning decks. I believe this one is from Jace TMS ST right here. Changed a couple cards because I do know what I like in Legacy, but I just wanted to change a few things to make it a slightly more of my playstyle, but it's mostly just this player's list. And I'm just copying it, just trying to earn some QPs so I can play in the modern, I think it's a super qualifier. I don't know. I'd have to look. Modern Showcase Challenge this weekend. Don't have enough QPs for that because I haven't been playing prelims because the prelims got weird. So we're playing this, and the deck looks sweet. It's basically the Uro list you've seen before. If you want to go back and watch the videos from the Legacy Championships, I think that was October, November, something like that. You can scroll back in my YouTube videos and find it. But it's a lot of the same thing, just now Oko is banned, Astrolabe is banned. I can't play those cards, so instead I'm still just playing snow cards with Uro. I think Icefang Kotal's good. You already want to fetch basics in Legacy just because the card Wasteland exists, so non-basic cards or non-basic lands aren't as good. So you kind of want to turn on Icefang, but it's also just a good card. This is a format where Delver of Secrets is really popular, and this card's annoying. It's also just a way to win the game. You can just attack people with your Icefang Kotals, and games go long in Legacy, so it's not crazy that you could win with them. I also have Jace to win games, but Icefang's the plan here. Outside of that, it's just a bunch of free counterspells, cantrips to make sure I can find my free counterspells, and busted blue-green cards. I mean, that's all this is. The sideboard has, you guessed it, more busted blue-green cards. Veil of Summer is really dumb. It's dumb everywhere you can play it. Banned in Standard, banned in Pioneer. It's not banned in Modern, but absolutely heinous to play against there. And then Back to Basics, which a lot of people probably haven't played with, but this is a card near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite cards to play with. I played a lot of Stoneblade with Back to Basics in the main deck. We'll see. It's just very necessary against some matchups. You play against lands or you play against Eldrazi decks and you just need them. It's nice, too, that when it's dead and you brought it in, or maybe you already cast one, you have another, you can pitch it to one of the 7 forces I have in the main. And then the rest of the deck is Graveyard Hate, or ways to beat Storm, basically, with Ethersworn Canonist, Surgical Extraction, Rest in Peace, Relic of Regenist, and Engineered Explosives, which is, just a catch-all answer to a lot of things, but also particularly good against Storm, because sometimes they empty the Warrens on turn 1 or 2, and you don't really have enough time to set up a Terminus, but you do have enough time to play an EE for 0, crack it, and blow up all the goblins they made with their empty the Warrens. One of the big changes I guess I made was I added a Karakas to the deck. Small thing, but I think Karakas is a really busted card. It's also sick when you play with Uro because Uro's unkillable. They go to Swords to Plowshares your Uro, and you bring it back to your hand, and you just get more value, and yeah, so much value. I would not be shocked if this deck should just have 4 Force of Negations. I'm playing 1 counterspell over the 4th Force of Negation. The list I stole only had 2, but when you have this much card draw with Uro, Icefang, and Jace, and Narset even, and Sylvan Library, this deck draws a lot of cards. I have a feeling I should have more Force of Negations or Force of Wills or just more of the 0-mana counter spells. But I do have Mystic Sanctuary, so I kind of can get more of that effect if I absolutely need it. We'll see. Yeah, hoping I can do well in this. We'll see. I might just get destroyed and have to post the shame video on YouTube. We'll find out how this goes. But yeah, kind of need to earn some QPs here to qualify, so we're gonna play. Let's get into battling. The event looks a little stacked. There's some very good players in this. Yama Killer's a great player. I know Namor Squats. Yeah. Jay Pinter is actually from Michigan. Shout out Jay Pinter. Dude's awesome. You should go check out his legacy content. He makes real legacy content. I'm just a legacy tourist today. All right, update before this starts, y'all. I just added the 4th Force negation. I cut the counter spell. I just want free spells because it's legacy and free spells are great. And Uro loves free spells too because you can just spend your turn exploring and drawing more cards and then you have free spells. So we'll see how that goes. This might cost me. I don't know. Maybe 8 force effects is too many, but here we are. We're trying it. We're in on the force effects. And I'm playing against Bucket Man. I don't believe I've ever played this person. Maybe I have. I don't know. We'll find it out pretty quick, though. No clue what they're playing. Opponent says GLHF. I would wish the same upon them. Good luck as well, my friend. Let's see what I'm up against here. I'm going to keep... I got a Force of Will, so if they go for something crazy on turn 1, I'm prepared. I actually have 2. I can only actually use 1, though. And I'm probably... Honestly, I'd probably pitch one of them to the other one. They're playing a... Well, presumably a blue deck. I guess this could be a black deck, but probably a Delver deck because it's Legacy and everybody plays Delver. Although Underground Sea doesn't necessarily mean that. It's interesting. I guess fetching main phase to play around Stifle, it makes sense. What? What just happened? Opponent is playing Rogues in Legacy? Is this a thing? What? What's going on? Wild. Alright, they milled my Mystic Sanctuary. No! Oh, Icefang Coatl is very good, though. I'll take that all day. Oh, man. Rogues cannot be good against an Uro pile, I'll tell you what. That was always Rogue's huge problem in Standard, was it just was so bad to mill their Uros that the deck just didn't function or work in any way, shape, or form. So, maybe this is a Legacy thing now? Sultai Rogues? I'm in the dark here, people. I don't know what's going on. I assume my opponent knows more than me about what is happening here. I'll say this, though. I'm ready. I am ready. You'll notice I could have cast Brainstorm last term and I didn't. That's because over time of playing Legacy, I've learned the correct way to cast Brainstorm is to, in fact, just never actually cast it. So, yeah, I don't cast the card. I'm going to fetch now to play around Stifle. I do not like being stifled. I'm going to get me a Snow-Covered Island and cast an Icefang Coatl. Man, they just milled all of my lands. So many lands milled. None of them look crucial. I did actually add a second Mystic Sanctuary, so I still have one if I need it. I am setting up for a pretty good turn. If they offer the trade here, this goes pretty well for me. It doesn't actually turn on yet. Yeah, I was going to say. This attack does do something, but it doesn't quite turn it on yet. Yo, can you mill an Uro, please? Where's that at? Mill an Uro. I want Uro. So the opponent only has 3 cards in hand. So I'm not particularly scared of what's going on. And again, I could cast stuff here. Like, playing the Sylvan makes sense, but I'd like being able to get the swords off through Daze. And I'm going to have 2 counter spells on their turn. So if I swords on their turn and fetch a Snow-Covered Plains, My Ice Fang is now a removal spell for either of these, and I have the swords to kill the other one. And then, I can counter 2 of the cards in their hand, so they'll have 2 other cards that kind of need to do something, which may or may not be the case. I don't know. But I'm definitely not going to fetch until their turn because I just really don't want to get stifled here. Brazenbauer, huh? Well, I will fetch now. And I do think because I can play around days, and if they have a Force of Will, I can force back and still have negation on their turn. I'm supposed to plow. I don't know which the right one is to hit. It's probably I'm going to hit the Thought Thief. At some point, they're just going to mill an Uro, and I'm going to be in business, although I'm actually starting to get at risk of not being able to cast it because I had to get a Plains, and I'm going to need another blue source and another green source. But my life total is still fairly high. Opponent really doesn't have very many resources at all. We're a couple trades away from having our opponent be out of this game. Is this a phantasmal image? I assume they're copying Thieves Guild Enforcer. I'm just going to Force Will this. I don't think this works the way opponent wants this to work. Do they know my card has Flash? I don't think they know my card has Flash. Alright, well. I'll take this trade. Which one is it better to kill for me? Probably the Thieves Guild? Just so they mill me less. And we have another Ice Fang. Beautiful. I'm going to main phase that. Opponent can't counter anything right now. Alright. My deck does not have a Savannah in it, which would be a great draw because it would let me cast Council's Judgment plus Sylvan, but, here we are. I find it wild they're offering these trades. It doesn't really make that much sense to me, but they are. Well, that's fine. I'm going to play my Sylvan here. I do have just hard cast Force and Negation up. They only have 1 card in hand, so if they have a counterspell, it's going to work. I imagine their turn mostly involves just casting this. They do need to try to clock me, but I just don't see it going all that well for them. Next turn, I can Mystic Sanctuary back a Swords, and I get to look for cards with Sylvan. I'm in pretty good shape. Yeah, I don't need to make any plays yet. They still only have 1 card in hand. I can still just leave up Hardcast Force because I would like this Brainstorm. But we'll have to see what they do. Soaring Thought Thief? Okay. Opponent has very many rogues in their deck. That is for sure. No, they milled my Terminus. That said, I can now Mystic Sanctuary back Terminus and then Brainstorm on their turn and cast Terminus. It's going to be a bad time for the opponent here. Oh, we drew Jace. Oh, and Teferi. Hello. Oh my goodness. I'm going to put back both Jaces. And then... Ooh, if I use Teferi, I can't actually put back Terminus. Oh, that's okay. See what happens when I put Terminus on top of my library. And I'm just going to upkeep cast the Brainstorm in Terminus. Because I know it's going to resolve because I have Force Negation backup. That is the plan. I'm going to put back CJ and a Jace now. And their creatures are gone. Beautiful. So opponent's still down to 1 card in hand. Maybe they have something good, but I have a Force Negation, so... I mean, for it to resolve, it needs to be a creature. And otherwise, I'm about to start burying them with Planeswalkers, which should go pretty good for me. We'll find out. This one on top, this one on top. I am having a very hard time finding Uros. That's fine. Hardcast Force. I respect it, but no, opponent, no. And there we go. That is game number 1. Let's see what we got post-board. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for rogues. This is not something I was prepared for. Back to Basics actually looks like it would have been pretty good against them. EE's probably good. Veil seems great. And Carpet of Flowers also seems actually pretty good. Council's Judgment looked uncastable at all points of the game, so I'm going to cut that one. Force Negation, the 8th one's probably a little worse when I have Veil of Summers. I'm going to cut my Caracas and 3 more cuts. Maybe EE's not great. EE seems like it'd be pretty good, though. Actually, Relic's not terrible. Uro's just so much better, though. I'm just going to cut all the Force Negations. Not Narset. Come back, Narset. Don't go away. Maybe I want like 1. I'm going to cut 1 and a Sylvan Library. Sylvan's still good with Uro, but when they're milling me towards Uro, I don't need the card advantage as much. I've already got Veil as a 2-for-1. Kotal's a pretty sick 2-for-1 as well. This hand's really, really awkward, but like 1 Brainstorm makes it really, really good. I do have a Force of Will and a cheap removal spell to kind of buy some time. I'm on the draw. I think I can keep this hand. It's not spectacular, but I do believe it's a keep. Opponent just turn 1, Agadeem the Undercrypt into Aether Vial. Oh, I should have Force Willed that. Yikes. Big yikes. Big yikes for me. Carpet Flowers is really good. I don't want to show it to the opponent quite yet, but this is the type of card that is going to let me hard cast a Terminus, because this card gets really out of control, and opponent looked like they were getting islands before, so maybe they'll get more islands now? I don't know. Cavern of Souls. Well, probably should have boarded out some of these forces. I did not realize this was the kind of deck we were playing. This is like Legacy Merfolk almost. How bad is that for me? Do I force it? These forces are never doing anything, and these 2 cards matter quite a bit. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the swords than both of these forces, just based on what they have going on here. I think these 2 cards are going to be very important. So I think forcing here is good. If they force back, then I'll get Thoughtseize, and that's fine. Although it did look like before opponent was fetching pretty aggressively islands. This game they have 2 non-islands, and this Carpet of Flowers looks pretty dumb. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and fetch a Trop here, though. And just get my Carpet of Flowers in play. It'll do something eventually, I promise. Carpet of Flowers, yay! Does opponent Force of Will this? Force of Negation. Pitching Stifle. Ooh, that's a... Pitching Stifle. I guess I'm probably supposed to fetch Main Phase then. While they are never casting this Stifle. Yeah, it's going to give you a Snow-Covered Plains and pass. I'm also don't have to worry about Daze because they've had very awkward mana. They only have 2 cards in hand though right now. Honestly, Force of Negation and Carpet of Flowers was like among the best things that could have happened for me there. Just because it didn't do anything. They don't have islands. Like it literally does nothing. So that's good for me, I guess. At some point they will probably mill me. That's likely to happen, and we have the lands in hand requisite to cast Uro, so that seems good whenever that happens. Maybe they have like Surgicals or something, and that would be pretty bad. Una's Blackguard. What? Opponent has gone very deep. I don't like Una's Blackguard though. That card is scary. There's probably a lot of rogues in Legacy that I have never heard of, I would imagine. I know Una's Blackguard makes me discard a bunch, though. I don't like that. And it's like a lord. I know these things to be facts. A Misty, huh? I guess I'm going to get my... my Tundra so that I have double white for this Terminus when I get to 6 mana, because it looks like we're going to get there. Trader Nemesis is a rogue? What? What? I didn't know that. I guess I kind of did know that. Well, this is one of those messed up rogues I was talking about. Thieves Guild Enforcer, you got it. I'm going to get my Tundra, because it's the only other white source I can fetch. And they can't stifle me right now. Oh, I guess I might have a Snow Plains. No, I don't even have another Snow Plains, so this is the only other white... I only have 2 white sources in this deck? What have I done? Oh, I have a Karakas, but I boarded that out. Alright, well. Getting my Tundra. They milled an Ice Fang. No! Ice Fang, come back, buddy. Now I'm just going to get up here and hard cast me a Terminus. That's the plan. Opponent's not really hitting that hard at the moment. They don't have that many cards either. Oh, Uro, huh? Uro I like. If this gets immediately surgical, I won't like that, but, you know, so be it. If opponent has to use a card surgicaling, then that actually ends up being good for me because... What? You forced it. Alright. I don't really get it, but there you go. Opponent has no cards in hand now. And they don't have blue mana to cast spells, and because they don't have 2 cards, the only way they're countering this Terminus is with a black counterspell, which I don't really think exists, or a 3-mana creature that can counter a 6 CMC spell, which I also don't think exists. Maybe they tick up to 4 and draw like Venser? You gotta go kind of deep to counter this Terminus. I can't really come up with a scenario where this works for them. I am taking a pretty big hit here, though, so that's a thing. Alright, hardcast Terminus. Boom. Terminus. Just the good old-fashioned way, I guess. So we're still looking like we're in a great spot. I mean, I've got Uro next turn coming back. If I draw a land, I can also play Teferi and bounce this Vial. And once the Vial goes back to the opponent's hand, I don't really see them having a chance to come back in this game. Their mana's just been very, very awkward. I don't know. I assume they have like Brainstorm. They probably don't have Ponder just based on what's going on with their deck. I don't know. Second Vial. All right. Fair enough. So land off Uro would be a fantastic draw. Sword isn't bad either, though. I'll take that. Oh, Uro, how modern has it missed you for 1 second at all, even a little bit? You heinous card, you. No. There's no way we could have tapped to also be able to cast Kodal, so I'm fine with this. But it's not great. I do have a hard time believing an opponent can come back from this. That 2-4 I got with the Terminus was just too brutal. The secret was we got the ball rolling though. We're starting to accrue card advantage with our 2-for-1s, and this deck doesn't seem like it does that well against a bunch of 2-for-1s. I don't know. I should probably tap like this just in case they draw a Wasteland. Teferi. Yep, I would have conceded as well. I agree, opponent. We agree. Well, it turns out broken cards printed in 2019/2020 still good enough for Legacy. Still good enough. All right, we are back for round 2 here. All right, back for round 2 here, and looks like I've lost the die roll. I don't have a Force, which is kind of scary on the draw in Legacy, because decks can kill you on turn 1 or 2. This is not an over exaggeration that happens. Storm can turn 1 you, so you do want to see those, but. I do have a Brainstorm, and if I play against a creature deck, this hand's amazing, so I am going to keep. Yeah, generally in Legacy, if you don't have a Force effect, you do tend to want to see Brainstorm, because Brainstorm just fixes everything. The card's really absurd. Duress? Okay, so this is probably Storm. They're probably going to take my Brainstorm, and I'm in trouble. Not good for the home team here, although... Verdant into Bayou into Duress in Legacy, as far as I know, signifies they're playing almost 100% Storm or like green-black Depths. Those are like the 2 decks they could play. Like they could be trying to make a Merit Lage, or they could be trying to Storm me, and honestly I'm not going to know which for a little bit. So yeah. We'll see. If it is Depths, I don't think I can lose. My hand is outrageously good against Depths. And that looks like Depths to me. Although Sylvan Library is good. That is a good way for them to win. No, I don't want a Miracle Terminus. Darn you, Terminus. Worthless. Ice-Fang Kodal is good against them because they're just trying to make a 2020 flyer. And while... you know, it's not amazing. It doesn't actually kill it because the thing's indestructible. It does, you know, it at least will block for a turn most of the time, and then I can find a spot to Swords to Plowshares it, so that's good. What that also means, too, is that I just don't have to worry about Death Touch at all. Like, the 1/1 flying is good enough, so I can actually fetch Tundra here. And... yeah, I can fetch Tundra here and Trop if I want. Which I probably will do just based on being short on lands. This deck doesn't generally play a lot of Wastelands. They usually have like 1 Wasteland, which opponent could blow me out with, but like I do still have Plains in my deck, so It's not the end of the world if I get wastelanded. And they are down to having 2 cards in hand. One of them is probably crop rotation. But the way their hand is set up currently, they can't make, or they could make a Merit Lage this turn. They have a Mox Diamond, excuse me. If they have a Crop Rot, they could make a Merit Lage. But they're not going to protect it particularly well, and the sword should mostly get me through it, I think. We'll see. I'm really hoping to draw a land here. 2 lands would be even better, so I can Uro and still have up swords. But my fallback of just casting another Ice Fang Kotal next turn is also pretty fine, I think. Okay, Brainstorm's fine. I am going to main phase Brainstorm and really hope there's a fetch on top of my library in the next 3 cards. Absolutely praying for it. Okay, Crop Rot, make a Merit Lage. So what I'm going to do here is, because they have 1 card, and decks like this do sometimes play things like, what's the card? Not of This World, to protect their 20/20. I am going to do it on their turn so that I can at least Force of Negation. Okay, so this didn't go amazing for me, but also it's not terrible. Alright, I'm going to put back Terminus and land, I guess. I'm going to play this land. And just pass, and then upkeep I'm going to Swords the Merit Lodge. They're going to gain a lot of life, which is a little annoying. But so be it. I guess there's an argument to just blocking with Kotal and playing Jace and bouncing it so that they don't have as much life to use with Sylvan. But I think this is still fine. Oh my god, Urbor, you're the worst thing to ever happen to me ever. And I'm going to unsummon the Reclaimer, just so they can't get it active. And now with an active Jace and Kotals to block, I feel pretty safe. Oh, Decay. Well, Decay's fine. Got my 2-for-1. Again, they're going to draw infinite cards with Library. I'm going to have to deal with that, but it's fine. That actually works out well for me because I know the top card of my deck right now is Terminus. So if they do play the Reclaimer, I can answer it for 1 mana, which is kind of nice. Thoughtseize me, huh? Well, they're going to have to take something, but I got a Jason play. Thoughtseize is not great, and if they take... Yeah, Library makes sense, although all of these cards are mostly better in my opinion, but, you know, whatever. A Karakas. Oh, well, that makes Uro pretty bad. Darn. I'm going to cast this, just get rid of this here Reclaimer. And then let's draw 3 cards. I would like to find some lands here. No lands to be found. I'm going to put these 2 back, and then ponder, looking for lands. Hopefully there's a fetch land, 3rd one down. There is. That's beautiful. Unfortunately, this can't get white, which is kind of annoying. But that's alright. Oh, I can actually tap this for black right now. That's actually interesting. So I can play my Uro here. No, this can't get white. It can get plains. What am I talking about? Yikes. And I also wanted to fetch away the cards that were on top, so that was not a good series of play. It can't get white-green, which is a little annoying, because white-green would be very good here. I guess I could get a Trop with it. Yeah, I guess delaying the decision process on that does make sense. I also have a Jace, so like I can Brainstorm again next turn with Jace and then fetch away the 2 cards I don't want, which probably include Force of Negation, but I don't know. I will say 21 is a really good number against them because they deal damages in increments of 20. So that is probably pretty important. We'll find out though. Alright, let's start with a Brainstorm. Oh, well, Karakas is like absolutely unbeatable for the deck. Merit Lage is legendary for the record. Yeah. think I put back this. Do I want any of the cards? A swords is probably really good, right? Yeah. I'll put back the force and this Jace. I'm going to play a Mystic Sanctuary, put Swords to Plowshares on top of my library. Say okay. Yes. Oh, I can't bring back Uro. Oh, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. I can't bring back Uro and draw swords, is what I should say there. I'm still not going to be able to bring back Uro this turn, but again, it doesn't really matter because they have a Karakas anyway. I don't think the Dark Confidant matters, actually. The more I think about it. Them losing life is, like, fine. They are drawing more cards, but... I mean, whatever. Oh, they revealed Mox Diamond? I guess it matters. I probably should have swords it. Whatever. Not a huge deal. Opponent is starting to use library pretty aggressively, and I'm going to be able to get some beats in with Kotal. Uro's never really going to do anything because of Karakas, but, you know, it is what it is. Duress, huh? Alright, I will hit Bob now. I think that's fine. Alright. We got there. Yeah. I think they just realized they couldn't beat the Karakas, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to bring in the Wilt, though. Wilt seems good. Veil of Summer seems good. The Carpet of Flowers in my main deck does not seem good. In fact, it seems quite bad. Rest in Peace might be good. Back to Basics is probably good. I don't really like Force Negation. It's like okay, but not amazing. And Council's Judgment is like actually good, but kind of uncastable. I think I'm just gonna cut an Uro though. Uro's a little slow in this matchup. The life gain does matter. Like I said, getting over 20 when they generally do damage in increments of 20 can be really backbreaking in this game or in this matchup because then like Teferi and Jace become realistic answers to Merit Lage. But again, I have cards like Karakas in my deck. I'm not all that concerned with it. I'm going to keep this hand for the record. This hand's kind of everything you want against this deck. I mean, the only bad thing for me to see here is, like, Sylvan. But, you know, everything's good. Brainstorm's always good. Karakas is an answer to Merit Lage. I have two other, like, either answers or ways to buy time to Merit Lage. I think this is an easy keep. So I imagine my swords or my brainstorm is gone. But honestly, either one they take is going to be okay for me. They did take swords. Okay, so maybe they have like a Bob here or something. I could see that. Council's Judgment. Well, that's actually good. I'll take that as a draw. It'll answer a lot of stuff on turn 3. They mostly can't protect from it either. Like, they could discard it if they have another discard spell, but... Okay, Reclaimer makes sense for them to do this turn. Discarding Dark Depths, huh? A Sylvan Safekeeper? Oh my. The Council's Judgment's going to be very good. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. So, Sylvan Safekeeper is a problem. A big one, in fact. I am just going to untap here. Just keep passing. Sejiri Step, give it Pro. Sure. You got it. Duress Me. They only have one card left after this. I think this is a fine spot to brainstorm. I know I for sure want a Tundra here just because I want to be able to cast this CJ. Back to basics? Yeah. Alright, I'm going to stack my library like this. You can have either CJ or Sylvan Library. And the fact that I'm showing those to you are not good for you, opponent. I'm sorry. This is a little awkward because I'm going to be... I don't know, man. Maybe Back to Basics was aggro. Because I don't have green mana. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess I wasn't supposed to keep that. That said, I don't really need to do anything about it this turn. I could just play Sylvan and wait. It's a little awkward. Yeah, I think this is just a little too awkward. I'm really sad I got the Tundra now that I drew it Back to Basics. I wish this one was just a Plains or an Island, obviously. But I'm not cutting myself out green when I have 3 green lands in my hand. I think that's a little aggressive. So I'm just going to pass with Ice Fang up. And once I get a basic forest, I'm just going to slam this Back to Basics. It is annoying because it's not letting them do their thing, but I think that's fine for the most part. I shuffled that away. You saw it. I literally shuffled it away with Scalding Tarn. I just fetched. It was the card on top of my library, too. Alright, well, yeah, Basic Forest probably gets me there. Do I just do it now? They haven't tapped their land, so like Back to Basics isn't amazing here. It's like, it's fine. I think I'm just going to play Sylvan and play this Kodal. It's pretty unlikely they can assemble Dark Depths this turn. They should be able to do it next turn. Yeah, but Back to Basics is going to put a wrench in their plan here at some point. They got a Wasteland? That's fine. That's like actively pretty good for me, I think. Trophy? Oh, that's the best thing ever. I get a basic. Yes. And they use their answer to the Back to Basics. Wonderful. Now I've got Death Touch. Well, now this Wasteland looks kind of dumb. I'm not going to lie. Legacy is a weird place, y'all. Crazy stuff happen here. Or happens here, I guess, is the right way to say that. Oh my god, Urborg. Why? Why are you like this, Urborg? Hey, another basic land. You'll love to see it. Oh, and even another one after that. Spectacular. Urborg! Stop! Oh, the second applause, like, oh no. That's probably not good. No, it isn't. They should probably get a basic land. They should probably use Reclaimer to get a basic land here, honestly. Like, sack the tap land to get Forest. Would probably be the route I go, but I don't know. No, they got the Dark Depths. Fair enough. Oh, that one didn't... I guess it did tap for mana because of Urborg, but that one doesn't need to be untapped anyway. Not a huge deal there for the opponent. Alright, I would like to draw a spell here. That would be nice. Swords actually isn't that good of one, if I'm, being honest, but... Interesting. What am I supposed to do here? I think I just play the Karakas, honestly. No, Karakas, not yet. I'm going to play Mystic Sanctuary and draw Brainstorm, I believe. Brainstorm's just so good. Council's Judgment would also be a pretty good draw here. It's a good way to stop Safekeeper, but... I should be able to just fight through the Safekeeper. They drew Decay. That's pretty good. I'm going to plow the Safekeeper, see what they say about this. They do need to sack a land to make this work. And they kind of have to pick between Urborg or Wasteland, because I don't think they're sacking Dark Depths. They did sack Urborg. That's good for me. For more than one reason, because Urborg is super annoying. But also, they're like pretty low on resources now. I'm not entirely sure what their game plan is here. I do like to normally hold the Brainstorm, but I think in this place it's warranted to play it, because if I find a good spell here, it could be game over. These were very much not a good spell this turn that I was looking for, although Force is, fine. It does play. I'm probably going to draw CJ with it just to hit the Safekeeper and make sure my Karakas can bounce the Merit Lage they make. Although I actually do see an argument for hitting Mox Diamond with Council's Judgment as well. Bog. Alright, well, time to make a decision, I guess. I still think I want Council's Judgment. Alright, goodbye, Graveyard. It's nice knowing thee. And I'm going to cast my CJ here, see what they have to say about it. I do kind of wonder if they activate Reclaimer in response. If they don't, there's actually a chance I'm supposed to hit Reclaimer. Although, there's actually a chance I'm supposed to hit Mox Diamond too, because they're just color screwed right now. They can't use any green, this is all of their colored mana. Crop Rot in response. That I'm going to force. And yeah, I do actually think I'm supposed to just hit this Mox Diamond. Although Reclaimer is no, I'm gonna hit the Mox Diamond. Whatever. I'm just going to hold the Caracas. They clearly intend on wastelanding it, and I'm just not all that interested in letting that happen. But they can't cast any spells, and they can't activate Reclaimer because I hit the Mox Diamond, so they're kind of in a bad way. And we're just going to keep waiting. They're not doing anything. I guess I could be attacking with one of them. I probably should be attacking with one. They do have Sylvan Library in their deck. But the more you wait with Brainstorm, the better it gets, which is the joke with it about why it always stays in your hand. Okay, Ponder, you don't wait with, though. Ponder, you'll look for a good card. These all seem like pretty good cards. Yeah. And I do believe this is the point where I hit this Reclaimer, and if they want to sack one of their 2 lands to protect it, that's fine by me. It's a good old-fashioned 1-mana Stone Rain. Alright, they just let it go, which makes sense, honestly. The good news, too, is I'm drawing back to basics, so when they do invariably tap this Wasteland for something, I get to lock it down and play my Caracas, and we'll be all set. It might seem weird I'm not attacking with both here, because I'm not really at risk of dying, but it's like, there's mostly just no reason not to. Or there's mostly no reason I need to, because they're not going to draw out of it. I have better draw steps than them. And I'm protected against discard with Brainstorm and Veil, so all their interaction doesn't really work. Their mana's screwed. Which maybe is a reason to put more, like, Clock harder, but I just really... I think the only way they can win is to cheese me out with, like, a quick 20-20 hit that somehow gets through my defenses, and by leaving an Ice Fang back, I simply cannot lose. And they're on a 19-turn clock, which, you know, sounds small, but really just isn't. At some point, I'm going to want to find like a Planeswalker, but I'm probably going to cast the Brainstorm next turn. See what happens this one. Oh, there you go. That's even better. Who needs a Brainstorm? Oh my goodness, these are very good. Think I'm gonna put back Caracas at this point. Opponent's been like so vigilant of it that I can just put it back and just like make them keep being scared of it. I think get a little tricky. It's a little tricky. And yeah, I mean, just the clock like kind of matters, but honestly, the clock is still faster with Jace plussing, which we can get to like next turn. So, hey, there you go. There's your safekeeper. That's fine. Well, let's Brainstorm again. Oh my, these cards are all so good. I don't think I need a second Veil at this point. I'm gonna play my Caracas. If they want to hit it, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. And I guess I take Sylvan. And still just... I'm just going to not even attack anymore. Who cares? Jace is going to win this game. It won't matter. You got my Caracas. They wanted that so bad. I'll give it to them. You, sir, have earned that defeat of Caracas. Sure. That's fine. Seems like we're going to find a Force of Will here somewhat soon. Or Terminus, excuse me. I still have 2 Terminus in my deck, and that's just going to clean up everything here. We did not, but that's still okay. Put on top. Pay 4 life to keep in hand. Minus Nursit. Ponder. Plus. I'm going to cast a Ponder. There's the Terminus. I wanted to arrange that differently, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's all so good, it doesn't really matter. I'll put back a Brainstorm, I guess, and the Wilt. Oh, no, I need to put the Terminus on top, right? Yeah. And then... I guess I cast the Back to Basics here. Does this make sense? I mean, I just have to cast Terminus and the game ends, so sure. Alright, they've seen enough. And yeah. I was setting up to Terminus, like I was going to Terminus in their upkeep so they'd have exactly a Dark Depths untapped and nothing else happening. They were going to get to use Bob, I guess, but like, yeah, it doesn't really matter that much. And just with all the Planeswalkers, yeah, it was gonna be tough for opponent there. All right, we got a story time on camera for y'all. My friend Raja sent me this meme. It is a baby Yoda looking up. Let's see if you can read it. It says when I borrow an EDH deck that I don't know how to play, he says me confidently making a second Merit Lage. So my friend Raja, I let him borrow my lands deck for Legacy. It's a Lord Windgrace deck. And when he's playing it, there's just one turn where he just like decides like, yeah, I'm going to make... he made a Merit Lage with Dark Depths combo, and then loams back his Dark Depths combo and makes the second one. You're all just sitting there like, it's legendary, right? He's just like, oh... So then he sacks the second Lage and bins the 2 lands again, and it didn't matter because he was winning by a lot and he went on to win, but it was still awesome. One of my favorite moments from Commander ever. He just gets so excited, just like it's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a second Mirror Lage. Like, all right, man. Now he wants me to add a Mirror Gallery to the lands deck. That's awesome. Oh, that's so good. Oh, let's look at Mirror Gallery. I'm dying. That's so funny. It gets rid of the legendary rule. Yeah, the legend rule doesn't apply, so he could have had 2 Merit Lages. That's awesome. That's so good. Oh my god. Oh, that's awesome. Alright, we are here for round 3. I won the die roll. I do not know my opponent. But I'm going to play first. I like playing first. Yeah, this hand looks fine. We've got the Force on turn 1. We got a turn 1 Ponder and a Brainstorm. And Teferi coming up. Yeah, this is a pretty clear keep in my opinion. Definitely just going to Ponder on 1. Not entirely sure what I'm looking for. There is an argument to hold it. But I'm probably looking for Icefang Kotal. Icefang Kotal seems really good. In fact, all of these seem quite good. I'm going to set it up like this. This way I can cast my Icefang Kotal. I would like to get a Snow-Covered Forest, but I need this Misty to get white mana the way my hand is set up currently. Arid Mesa. You don't see that one in Legacy very often. Maybe like Burn or Goblins? Could also be like a red base storm deck, I guess. Hmm. This could be lands as well. I guess you could play Arid Mesa in lands. I don't know what Arid Mesa means in Legacy. I mean, it could also just be like blue, white, red miracles. I guess that makes some amount of sense. But those decks would usually just only have blue fetches like mine, so they can get Mystic Sanctuary. I must admit, I am thrown for a loop here. I'm just gonna play the Trop, and probably just keep going with my Ice Fangs. I'm going to hold up Brainstorm, obviously, in case I need to look for a second force, in case they are doing something very degenerate this turn. When someone plays a land you don't recognize in Legacy, you kind of got to be like, okay, there's some bad stuff coming my way in the future here. I guess Arid Mesa could be like, there is red-white Death and Taxes decks sometimes, and Goblins sometimes like splashes Thalia, although they haven't really done that since Muxus came back, although I guess they could still be like sideboarding it. That would make sense. I don't know. Basic Mountain. So Ancient Tomb. Oh, is this like the turn 2 Blood Moon deck or whatever? Lotus Petal. All right, we're doing something degen here. I don't know what exactly, but we're going somewhere. Do they think I'm gonna daze them? Imperial Recruiter? Oh, this is Painter. Okay. Sure. You can't force negation it, so resolves. Goblin Engineer, huh? Well, what is the combo with Painter, Servant, and Grindstone? So the Engineer's probably going to get one of them. I think I'm okay to play Teferi here and leave up Force for Grindstone. I think. This could go horribly for me. I don't actually know. I'm pretty sure this is okay, though. Like, this is the one turn I get, and it'll be okay. God, I love the synergy of Teferi and Ice Fang. It's so good. So, absolutely have to force negation Grindstone if that comes up. If they attack Teferi, I'm just going to let Teferi go to 4. I want to be able to bounce Kotal next turn if I need to generate some cards, because I might be pitching this Brainstorm and just kind of be left with nothing here. The good news is my Mystic Sanctuary is turned on. Revoker. That's fine. The Team Raveler. Alright, yep. You got it, bud. Ooh, and a Smuggler's Copter. What? What is this? So maybe not Painter? I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening here. This is wild. What is happening? I will end up losing to Fairy, I guess, here. I'm going to main phase Brainstorm. A second Kotal would be really, really good here. Okay, we didn't hit that at all, but that's... in fact, this was just, like, actively quite bad for me. Now I don't even have Force up, but I don't think they're Painter anymore, because they're doing weird creature-y stuff. If they do Crew Copter, which I guess they would do with the Goblin, right? Plateau. Engineer, sure. Thought that one was coming. They got Grindstone. Okay. That's a little terrifying. I'm not going to lie. But they're not attacking. Very interesting. Well, I will block. I would like to bounce the Codal, but I think this is a good turn for this. Because I'm probably going to need to end up bouncing, like if they play a Painter Servant here, I probably need to bounce that with Teferi. Yeah. Okay, so I believe the play here is get back swords. Say okay. And then I think I bounce the engineer and just swords the... Yeah, I'm going to do that. Bounce the engineer because they can tutor again if they want. And then swords the Painter Servant. Then I do think I ponder just to shuffle and clear the top of my library a little bit. Another swords is pretty good here. Yeah. Stack it like this and draw the swords. I mean, I can't cast it this turn, but it's fine. I will end up losing Teferi, which is a little unfortunate. Because Teferi is really good here. That's no joke. They also play like cards like Pyroblast main deck. And it's a real shame I can't just swords the Smuggler's Copter. But Sylvan's going to win this game for me, so it doesn't really matter is the joke here. I would like them to cast a non-creature spell so I can convert this Force of Negation, though. I'll say that much. But here I do lose Teferi, which is a shame, but just kind of is what it is. Also, in case y'all are wondering, I'm kind of in the same spot you are with just being very confused as to what is actually happening in this game. I don't know. I really don't. Be a non-creature spell. Be a non-creature spell. Come on! You want one. Imperial Recruiter. Darn it. It's not a non-creature spell. Alright, I'm going to need Sylvan to really get me through this here. Ethersworn Canonist. Big yikes. Big yikes. Well, CJ's not good in the sense that I really can't cast it at all. But I'm still going to pay 4 life and keep it in my hand because I want new cards. And I think I'm going to do the same with this, go to 7, which is a dangerous game. We are, in fact, playing a very dangerous game here. I do think I need to draw Brainstorm pretty badly. I need another white source. But I'm going to plow the engineer here. Ooh, I've actually set myself up to be in a pretty rough spot, because now they just play Canonist and Crew Copter. I might just lose to damage here because I took too much damage off Sylvan. Ugh. Well, hopefully they do something that lets me convert these Force of Negations, maybe? Karn. Oh, that's converting a force negation. I'll accept that. Okay, so really, really hoping... no, wait, I'm still just dead. Yeah, we're not in a good spot here at all. Uro would be a really good draw. Really hoping to see an Uro, I guess. Uro would be a fantastic draw, actually. That'd be amazing if I could find an Uro on top and then still get the swords, the copter on their turn, I guess. Oh, I'm not drawing swords. I'm drawing Brainstorm. Got it. So Jace technically keeps me alive, which is the best kind of keeps you alive. Oh, no, wait. Oh, no. Jace doesn't keep me alive. Just dead to not have enough white mana. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. If opponent doesn't have another creature, I have a shot. It's not a good shot, but it is a shot. Okay, these mostly don't do really anything. But I do have a swords. So if they don't have a creature to crew the copter, then I can swords the smuggler's copter and go to like 1 or 2, and then maybe untap with Jace and do enough. Gonna be a tight one. If they have a creature, we're just very done here. But maybe they attack Jace. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I kind of need their hand to be bad, which is also kind of asking for a lot because they've been attacking with the smuggler's copter and fixing their hand. So that's not good. That's really not good for me at all, but it is what it is. We're here now. I would also really would have liked an Uro. Uro would have fixed a lot of stuff there, but, you know, here we are. Hardcast Spirit Guide. No! Oh, did I screw up super bad? Oh my god, I am very, very dumb. I could have easily, like, fixed all of this by just swordsing this main phase and casting more spells. What am I doing? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just threw this whole game. Unbelievable. Completely through. There's no way I should have lost that game, but we did, and here we are. I also could have countered the smuggler's copter like 15 turns ago. I think I played like garbage there for the most part. That's my read on the situation. But it's alright. Things aren't always going to be perfect. I actually kind of like Surgical. Council's Judgment just feels wildly uncastable in this deck. Like, very uncastable. I guess I'm going to cut my Sylvans. This feels like a deck I should be quite good against. Obviously, I played like a donkey that game. Why didn't I just Swords the other Sworn? No, because it still just doesn't work, right? Because all of my action cards, if I just like keep swords, I have to cast Brainstorm or Jace. So I was probably just supposed to keep Brainstorm, put the swords back. Brainstorm. No, because that just doesn't work. No, yeah. So I think I did play that last turn right. The real mistake was just not Force of Negationing the Smuggler's Copter, but whatever. Oh my goodness. This hand is close, but it's not a keep. If that land was untapped, probably. This hand seems pretty good. Yeah, I will keep this. It's a little awkward, but I think it's fine. Question is, what's the bottom here? I think it's Force of Negation, which might be a mistake, but I think it's right. I'm just going to lead on turn. Alright, second Codal. Fair enough. So a Karn here would be pretty bad. They kind of have to go pretty hard to use a Karn here, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. And if they want to Pyroblast my Codal, they are welcome to. I've gotten more where that one came from. Force Negation is actually a decent draw. So I really don't want to use it this turn if I can avoid it, but something really bad like a Karn I might. I might like Karn Resolve just because I can attack it with Codal if they do have a Karn here. Engineer's fine. Engineer's fine. It seems like they have another Pyroblast as well. Nope. Alright. I get my Codal. Very good. Very good. That was also a fantastic draw. So I'm going to Swords this before they can activate. And I'm going to get my beatdowns on, I guess. Now I have Hardcast forced up. Again, they could have a Pyroblast, but they only have 3 cards in hand. And they need 2 pieces for their combo, and they haven't assembled either yet. I can also Hardcast Force on some of it. And then I have a Brainstorm to rebuild if it comes down to it. If they're not doing anything here, though, that's pretty good for me, I would imagine. Oh, Teferi's like excellent for me. I would assume Teferi gets Pyroblasted, but let's see. Their hand just like has to be like all Pyroblast, right? Like what else could it even be? Nope, it just all that resolved. Okay, very good. I am going to bounce my Codal here just to try and generate some value. Ooh, a second Force is really good. Because their creatures don't have haste, so... No. I think I'm going to main phase the Codal just to try to hit a land drop here. I would like to hit a land. Alright, great. Take it. I unfortunately can't hardcast Force Negation now with the land I drew, but I think that's fine. And Engineer's also fine. They get an Ethersworn Canonist, sure. I'm going to end-step Brainstorm, which is a weird play generally, but we're doing it specifically to draw Tyrannus, so I think that's fine. And I can plus Teferi. I don't know what I want to draw. Probably still just Brainstorm. Brainstorm's just so good. Nah, Swords is better. I'm going to draw Swords. It's just a better way to break up their combo, I think. And I can actually ponder it instant speed, which is kind of cute. If it comes up that I want to do that. Looks like opponent's casting something thick here. A big Imperial Recruiter. Yeah, that's fine. This is going off? Just Imperial Recruiter chaining me? Fair enough. I respect it, but yeah. I will counter the second one probably, just hardcast Force, I think. Just to nip this in the bud before it gets started. And I still have Force Negation if they have some crazy follow-up, but I don't think there's anything too scary that's going to come out here. EE would be okay, but I don't love it. I kind of just want Uro. I'm going to shuffle here. Codal works. I'll take a Codal. So again, just going to pass. I'm going to leave up cast Codal plus hardcast Force. That's my plan for this turn. And I do want to just let my Teferi keep getting in there. Or keep getting value, I guess I'd say. Alright, EE is not like amazing, but it's also not terrible, so I'll take it. Pretty curious what's in their hand. Ooh, hardcast Grindstone, eh? How much do I care? I'm just gonna let that resolve. I can bounce it with Teferi next turn and counter on its way back down if they pass. I was going to say, milling me is actually good because it just gets me closer to an Uro. Does look like they're going to mill me. Alright, I got 4 cards. That's fine. I am going to Uro. I guess I could have gotten the other Mystic Sanctuary here. I can also just bring Uro back right now, and I still have Force Negation up, which I don't think is crazy. But I also just don't need to do that. I can just pass with Swords and Force up and just be safe from everything, I think. Alright, I'm going to fetch now because I can't actually fetch any more white sources. This is it. So I'm going to get my other Trop here. And just hard cast Force. I'm still protected from the combo because I have swords against the painter. Alright. They are recruiting hard. So much recruiting. The recruiting doesn't stop. It's like a college team here. It's recruiting everywhere. Everyone. Get a Goblin Welder. Sure, sure. Sure. All makes sense. It'd be cool if I could convert this EE, but... Yeah, that's fine. Another Uro, huh? I think I'm going to bring back the first one here. Green, green, blue, blue. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I am going to Swords the Welder. I don't have any sort of protection from the combo at the moment. Well, I do have 2 Brainstorms in hand and could look for like a Force of Will if need be. Alright. This seems like Karn. It is Karn. They can also cast a Mycosynth Lattice here, which is pretty bad for me. Yeah. Alright. Well, Karn resolves. I can Brainstorm again, but I know the top 2, so I'm only looking at 1 fresh card. I'm not, like, technically dead to Lattice. Grindstone. Okay. Okay. Is their last card Painter? Oh my god. Did I just lose a game I couldn't lose? What's the last card down? It was another fetch. I guess I used my interaction on stuff that was bad. Maybe I was supposed to put out an EE on 2 ahead of time or something. I don't know. EE wouldn't have worked at a Karn anyway. Alright. I lost what kind of looks like an unlosable matchup. Playing terrible game 1, and I don't know where I went wrong game 2. I feel like I should have won this game, but I did kind of flood out a little bit. It took a little while to find a Uro or whatever, so here we are. Alright, it was a frustrating loss game 2, but this still actually qualifies me for the thing. Gives me enough points, so not the end of the world by any means. And this hand seems pretty good. I've got a Force Negation if they're doing something unfair. They're already on 6. I've got Kotal into Uro, so seems like a decent hand. Probably pondering looking for like a green source on 1, depending on what opponent does on 1, I guess. Alright, Polluted Delta's not changing anything of that so far. Underground Sea could be Storm, I guess. Ponder? No, that doesn't really tell me anything. This could be 10 different decks. There's a lot of decks in Legacy that play Underground Sea and Ponder. Okay, Lotus Petal does tell you something. That is almost certainly Storm, although could also be like Sneak and Show or like a weird Sneak and Show deck maybe. I am not going to Ponder now. I want to save Brainstorm to hide my Force of Negation from like a discard spell if they use a discard spell this turn. And otherwise, probably going to Ponder next turn. I just want to find as many force negations as I can get, I guess, is where I'm at. I think there is an argument to end of turn Brainstorm here. It's not a great argument, but I think there's an argument, like a small one that could be made. I'm not going to. And we found the green source. I still strongly suspect I'm supposed to Brainstorm here. All right, second Force of Will is fantastic. It's everything you could have dreamed of. What are we bottoming? I think Narset's generally pretty bad, and I don't really need the Tarn here. Yeah. I'm not going to crack my fetch, though. I would actually like to draw Tarn because of Uro. But now that I have two force effects, and it's different ones, so like they can't even like Cabal Therapy naming Force of Will and hit both of them, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. Slowing the Dark Ritual Resolve is scary. I'm going to do it, though. Doomsday? What? I'm probably not supposed to let this resolve. But also, they kind of just die if I do. Right? Like, they're just kind of dead. I'm going to let this resolve and hope that... Oh no, because they just get the land, right? Oh no. I made a mistake. They just get Shelldock Island, cast Emrakul, and I can't stop that game one. I guess I can maybe trade with it with Kotal. That kind of works. That actually does work, right? It's just protection from colored spells, so I can just float my lands, sacrifice all my lands. Oh no, then it won't have Death Touch. Darn it, it doesn't work. Well, I was probably supposed to counter that. I think that is pretty accurate. But here we are. And I'm really hoping we're going for like a Thassa's Oracle kill or something along those lines, because, yeah. Yep. There is always the chance opponent just like passes the turn and dies. Like, sometimes people mess up Doomsday. You're probably not 2-1 in a prelim with it if you don't know how it works, but it happens like 2% of the time with this card where people just don't understand how to stack the 5-card library and then they just lose after casting their own card. That would be pretty funny. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be pretty funny. Alright, they have 3 cards in their hand, 5 cards in their library. This is either going to go very poorly for me or like pretty good. And I don't know which. Lost half their life too. Preordain, yep. I'm going to let that happen. I don't know what's exactly happening here. I am, however, much less interested. I was gonna say I kind of want to draw Narset, but I can't. I'm drawing a land, and if I like fetch to Brainstorm, I'm not drawing Narset at that point. But I do think a Brainstorm here is warranted. I really would like a third piece of counter magic. I don't have to play a win con anymore. I just have to stop whatever they're about to do. It's all that needs to be done at this point. So I think every piece of mana is precious, and end of turn Brainstorming now makes sense. Yeah, okay, alright. Put that back and that one back. It's probably supposed to do that in the other order, but whatever. This is a deck that will oftentimes play Daze. I'm going to start by Brainstorming, though. Wow, that really didn't go well at all. Alright, so I'm just looking for any force effect. That's all we're looking for here. That is fine. That works. Alright, I have 3 counterspells and mana to pay for Daze. Let's see if it is enough. Duress. I'm probably supposed to deny information. Whatever, I'll let it happen. And they only have 3 cards in hand. I can counter 2 of them. And this deck does play Daze, so like if they're counting on Daze to be a counterspell, I can always make that dead, I guess. Alright, they're just passing. That's probably good for me. I am just going to play Sylvan here. Sylvan at least makes it so if they try to wait, like they want to go for it next turn, because if they don't, then I get to untap and draw a bunch more cards, so we'll see what their plan is here. Thoughtseize me. Okay. Cycle Street Wraith, sure. 1 card. Oh no. I was supposed to force negation of Thoughtseize because now I just lose. Gosh, I can't have lost this game and I still somehow did. Also, if I just leave up Trop. Oh my god. I could have got Mystic Sanctuary too. I like could not have lost this game and I somehow found a way. Alright. I guess show me one of the Force Wheels off the top. Why did I play Sylvan again? I don't know. How do I not just force negation the Thoughtseize there? What exactly was I waiting on? Yeah. Alright, well. That's a good example of how to take a game you can't lose and then just blow it very badly. It's a very strong example of that. I do like Surgical against decks like this. And I think you can make an argument for Wilt. I guess I could also bring in like an EE in case they have like an Empty the Warrens plan or something. I'm going to bring in a Relic just because it cycles and can maybe affect them. Maybe it's better than Surgical. I kind of like how Surgical can just like take all the discard out of their deck though. Well, that is a game I had absolutely no business losing and then played like a clown and lost. So that's what happened there. That is how that happened. I would like to play first. That sounds good. Okay, this hand should be quite good. Let's see how it works. I have 2 force effects and one of my hate cards that I boarded in. Ethersworn Canonist backed up by counterspells is just so brutal for decks like this because they can only cast 1 spell a turn and then they just get counterspelled and they die. I think they're going to Force of Will this. They do in fact Force of Will it. I am going to Force of Will back. It's because it's so hard for them to beat this card. It's also a clock, like I'm just attacking them for 2 now. And I still have Force of Negation. Alright, that's their spell this turn. That's great. I guess they could play like a Lotus Petal if they wanted to. I'm going to play this here Sylvan. And attack with my Ethersworn and pass the turn. Alright, what is Sylvan bringing me? Opponent has disconnected? What? Interesting. Let's just be like restarting MTGO or something. Alright, they're back. Yeah, probably just restarted MTGO. What are we doing, man? Can I use my Sylvan trigger? Well, We should be wrapping up the prelim here and just be 3-1 if I had played game one in any way at all reasonable fashion. I should have just countered all the discard. Just no. Counter it, no. Not happening. I even planned to do that, and I was like, oh, we'll play with it a little bit. We'll test this, and just clown mode. I'm going to put this one back and then pay 4 life to keep this one. Would like to fetch a snow-covered forest and play a snow-covered island. And I can't really do anything else regardless, so I guess I'd rather bluff Veilstorm. I'm gonna play Uro. Nope. Pass. And I probably do fire off Surgical Extraction and just surgically extract Force of Will or something. I don't know. Maybe Preordain? Brainstorm? See if they do anything else. I'm doing it for a few reasons. One is because it's the 5th card for Uro. That's actually the biggest reason. I'm going to take Force of Will. They can't cast another spell, so they can't really do anything about this. And there's a bunch of information. I kind of feel like this game is wrapped up with 2 forces in my hand. And my hate card in play and an Uro coming back next turn. Alright, so what does opponent even got going on here? They have a Force Will in hand. Oh, that's very lucky. A Thoughtseize, a Ponder, a Daze, a Dark Ritual, and Abrupt Decay. So this thing's gone, but then they don't do anything after that, which is fine. That's not true. They do stuff, but whatever. These are definitely out. I no longer feel like this game is wrapped up, although I do still think I'm in a pretty good spot. Okay, so how can they beat me here? They just have one Thassa's Oracle. They do have a Cavern of Souls. But they don't have the Emrakul, the land thing that stops this. They only have 2 Abrupt Decays in their deck, which is pretty good for me. They also only have 2 Thoughtseizes post board and 1 Duress. Oh my god, I wish I had counted them last game. Whatever. So their hand is actually in a decent spot. Let's say okay here. So I need to write this down. Daze, Ponder, Thoughtseize. That's not right. Thoughtseize. This isn't even. I don't think this is right. Decay. I think that was the hand. There was something else. Short-term memory, not good. I'm just going to put all of them in my hand. I maybe should have brought the Force of Will back because I could do that with Flooded Strand. I think this is fine. Oh my goodness. I'm so low on life. I imagine this gets decayed here. I can't stop that, but I'm still in a decent spot. Even through a Thoughtseize or a Daze, I can still have a Force. So their hand is Daze, Ponder right now, and 2 cards I do not know. Alright, they're getting the Ponders out of the way. So their hand includes a Daze now. That's what I know. It has a Daze in it. And I am, of course, just going to be as greedy as possible because I'm about to start gaining life with Uro. They're actually dead next turn, which is pretty nice. And Narset's going to make it very hard for them to kill me here. Especially with the Veil of Summer. Yeah, I was going to say. Seems like a tough spot. Well, we managed to steal a win there. Still don't love where I'm at, but maybe it's okay. Having seen these do nothing, I think I'd rather them just be blue cards that can sort of mize the opponent. The kill spells just don't matter. Oh, Carpet of Flowers is better. I should definitely have a Carpet of Flowers over one of them. Carpet of Flowers I think is actually good. It lets me make a lot of mana. I could buy Back to Basics over something else, maybe like a Sylvan or something. But everything else seems mostly good. But they did not have that much disruption total. They had like a couple decays. They had like a couple decays. They had 3 discard spells total, and then 4 Force of Wills in like a daze, maybe 2 dazes. Oh my goodness! If this had a blue source, this hand would be a Snap Keep. Given it's a white source, I mean, how much do I want to trust that I naturally draw land? I do have a Force of Will. It's just like everything I'd want. If this hand had a Trop instead of either of these cards, this hand would be unbelievable. I'm going to keep. I'm on the draw. This might be a loose, but I've got 21 lands I can draw. I get 2 draw steps before it matters. And I still have spells I can cast. And even if I draw like a forest, I can still... yeah, that's not good for me. Kept a loose one. Blue source off the top, please. Deck one time. Yeah, they took the Force Will. They only have 3 discard spells in their entire deck. At least in game 2 they did, so... That's a yikes. That's a yikes. That's a we're dead right here kind of situation. Okay, Brainstorm gives me hope. I should have mulled. It was just very dumb. Okay, so not dead yet. And a blue source off the top, I'm going to win this game. Deck! We did this to ourselves. I should have mulled. I just wanted so badly for it to be fine, but it wasn't fine. It was never fine. Mistakes were made. Although, opponents kind of letting me draw back in, I guess. Land. Okay. Okay. I think I pass one more turn. No, I need to ponder here. And I am going to draw the Force of Will. I'm also going to draw the Karakas, even though I don't really want to draw the Karakas, but just playing around Daze does make sense. The fact that they got the Bayou, kind of scary. Dude, they have 3 discard spells. Come on. It's ridiculous. They have Prudent and Brainstormed like 100 times, so like obviously they're going to have them, but like, come on. There goes my Force of Will. Alright, so it seems like opponent pretty clearly has an Abrupt Decay in hand, because I don't understand what they're doing if their hand is payoffs. But also, I'm going to cast this, because it's like one of the few things I can actually cast, so here we are. I do have a Brainstorm now. I can use it to try and hit a Force effect, if it comes down to me needing that. I don't really want to Brainstorm, because I know the top card is Brainstorm, so I'm pretty likely to get Brainstorm locked, but maybe I need to do this. I mean, it really just depends on what opponent does here. Predict. Targeting themselves. Sure. Name's Dark Ritual. Oh, what a good call. Alright, so somehow we haven't just immediately lost this game, which is mind-blowing to me. I am going to end of turn Brainstorm. It's good. And we have green mana now. The question is, what are we doing with it? I think the answer is play Sylvan and leave up Brainstorm again in the hopes that that matters. It probably won't, but also opponent can't have that many more discard spells. They have like one more in their deck. It does seem like they have to be so close to killing me, right? What are they missing in their hand? It does seem like I should be dead. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, and unfortunately I drew the Karakas, and it's not an island, so I'm not super close to using Mystic Sanctuary, because another Force of Will here would be amazing. If I could have that. Are we going for it yet, or what are we doing? It still kind of feels like they're waiting. They're waiting. Okay. Alright. I'm going to cast a Brainstorm. Put both of these back, I guess. Pay for life to keep. Pay for life to keep. I do believe this is a good time to cast Jace. I also imagine I'm going to get Force of Willed. Because what can their hand be? Yeah, Daze is gone, sure. Yeah, I was really hoping to draw a Force effect there. Well, go ahead, opponent. You either kill me or you don't right here. That's where we're at. This is how this turn is going to go. I maybe should have just kept back to basics just to, like, bluff that I have this way to beat them, but, like, I just don't. I just nothing. I have nothing that does anything in my hand. But they also just don't have anything. What is happening? Okay, so I think this is a pretty clear get a Force of Will scenario. And then I'm going to play Mr. Teff. Because now if they have a counterspell, they have to use it. Yep. Makes sense. So they only have 2 cards in hand. And I now have 2 force effects, so I'm actually somehow in this game. I'm mind blown. I cannot make the mistake of playing a Doomsday Resolve if that is how this goes. Certainly cannot be doing that. Carpet of Flowers is really insane. This thing makes 3 mana right now. That was like my own Dark Ritual. Yes. I think blue. And I'm going to play Jace. I do think I brainstorm because I just want another blue card in my hand really badly. Beautiful, that works. Alright, so I don't think I can lose from here. I think we went full stop the other direction where I couldn't win and now I can't lose, but I still don't really understand what's happening in this game. Assassin's Trophy Jace. Yeah, that's fine. Oh my god. This hand is it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk all like doing a bunch of damage to myself here. I just don't think it's necessary. I guess blue's still slightly better. One, two, three, 4, and 5. Are they going to counter Uro? I think they're thinking about forcing this. No, they let it happen. Fair enough. Okay. So I'm putting them to 8, and I'll have 8 power next turn. So they have to win this turn, and they have to do it through a Veil of Summer and like 4 forces, which seems somewhat unlikely. But I was in this spot in game 1 and still managed to blow it. So yeah, we'll see. If they cast a Dark Ritual, you better believe I'm countering it. Nope. Yeah, everything after this is no bueno, opponent. I'm not letting anything happen. No. Okay. Yeah, still no. Still no. Still no. Alright, so they have 1 card in hand. I get to attack them for a decent amount. Yes! We somehow won that game! How do we win that game? I have no idea how that happened, but I'll take it. I don't feel like I deserve to win that game. I don't think I played well at all, but we'll take it, I guess. Yeah. Alright, cool. So this was a fun event. Yeah. Thanks everybody for stopping by and watching. Remember, if you like the content we're making here, please like and subscribe, all that. Leave comments. It really helps me keep growing the channel. I would really appreciate it if you would. And yeah, let me know what you thought about this deck. Was this a fun experience watching me stumble my way and play poorly through the legacy format I haven't played in a while? Or would you rather see me play games in formats in which I am an expert on? I'd appreciate the feedback either way. And with that, talk to you next time.
I'm joined by Kyle Balgamase. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations to Brian DeMars. Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack, Ari Lax.